Very good morning to everybody, and thank you so much for joining us this morning for this arrival press conference with Proteas captain Dean Elgar. Just going to wait for Dean to get a little bit centered. Oh, there we go. Can I ask you to move a little bit back so that we can get your full head on screen, or to move the device. There we go.
Is that better?
That's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Thank you very much. Everyone, as always, I'd just like to remind you to please put your request to ask a question on the chat panel. Please do stick to one question at a time per person. We're going to be really strict on that, just so that we can allow everybody to be able to have an opportunity to ask a question. If you ask more than one question, you're taking away an opportunity from someone else, and that's not right. Just to ask everyone to please keep your questions as short as possible. Who would like to get us kick-started this morning/evening? Thank you, Stuart.
Morning, Dean. Your evening, your time. Just to check with you. You've been in quarantine and stuff here, Pakistan. I was wondering how it was different in New Zealand compared to some of the other experiences that the players have had.
Yeah, it's obviously New Zealand have got extremely strict rules and regulations around the MIQ. Yeah, we've had our isolation in Pakistan, which wasn't too long, but obviously New Zealand, with regards to their respects that they have with regards to the COVID. Yeah, it's 10 days is a long time for us. I think we're on day 6 or 7 now at the moment. I can't remember. I don't even know what day of the week it is, to be honest. But yeah, this one is very strict. This is it's been 3-4 days in the beginning of extremely strict protocols that we had to adhere to and respect. Yeah, and as time has gone on with us returning all negative tests, I think we've had 3 occasions that we've tested now, and we've all tested negative on 3 different occasions, which is good for us. It's allowing us to leave the hotel just to go train as a group. But once we return back to the MIQ, we're straight back into our room. There's still no mingling amongst the players in the hotel, so we're still confined to our room, Stu. So with regards to that, it is a little bit tough on the guys, but we do have luxury to go use their gym facilities now in the morning. We've got allocated times that we can go use the gym, and we do have a training schedule now that we're allowed to fulfill now as a group.
Alfred. Hello, Dean. If you don't mind, tell us about that beard. It's a lot fuller than when you left home. Is that a quarantine project or
that can't be your question, Alfred. You only get one, eh?
That's it. It's early in the morning here, dude.
A combination of boredom and yeah, maybe frustration. I'm maybe a bit lazy to shave it off, but I'll see how long I go with it.
Photos.
Morning, Dean. Sorry, not morning, you know what I mean. Dean, I don't know if you guys are training at the same venue that the test matches will be played, but is this giving you an opportunity to, I guess, acclimatize more so than if you hadn't had a quarantine situation where now you've got, many days beforehand to actually get used to the conditions and look around, or are you training somewhere else and it actually doesn't matter?
Yeah, currently we're training at the high performance facility at Lincoln University. Facilities are brilliant. We've had some very good practice wickets there now, and yeah, we had a great team outing today, this afternoon. Yeah, we obviously confided with the time. We only been given a few hours in the afternoon to go out and practice, so everything is squeezed into those few hours, which is quite tough. It's not something that we're used to, but I mean, we have to adapt. As humans, we've learned how to adapt now in these tough times. Yeah, we only get to Hagley Oval, I think, 2 or 3 days out from the test match. I think that's also got to do with the rules and regulations. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what was the chat prior to this. But yeah, we've got a very good indicator so far. We do have another 3 or 4 days of training at Lincoln University. Sure, it is a university oval, but the facilities are pretty good. I think it's about guys getting time in their legs now, and batters getting the time of spending time at the crease, be it only in a practice facility capacity. Yeah, and once we get to Hagley Oval, we'll obviously have a few days to, which I don't think will be too dissimilar to what we've experienced now at Lincoln University. But again, if they are going to be similar as professional cricketers, we need to adapt, and that's the bottom line.
Dennis?
Azadine, Devon Conway has obviously had a very good start to his Test career in New Zealand. For New Zealand, do you think because some of you guys might know him from South Africa and what he was like, do you think that might be an advantage to you when you play that first Test?
I don't think it's going to be much of an advantage. I think he's obviously playing with a different badge on his chest now, and rightfully so. And he's had a great start to Test cricket. I mean, we can't take that away from him. His numbers speak volumes at the moment, and he's in a massively purple patch. But again, we don't see him as a South African guy anymore. He's living here. He's playing for another country, and yeah, we're the Proteas, and we're extremely proud of what we stand for. But I'm sure there'll be some friendly chats off the field with Dev, because I think a lot of guys know him or played with him and against him over the past few years. But I think once match day comes and you walk over that white line, it's all about business, irrespective if he's your friend, or if you know him, or if he's acquaintance or whatnot. So yeah, I don't think it's going to affect our preparation too much. We need to focus on what we need to focus on, and yeah, that's been our strength of late. We focused on what the team requires.
Nathan?
Thank you, Spokazi. Good day, Dean. We obviously know KP misses out on tour. Who would likely come in for him for that first Test, if you take into consideration the pitch conditions at the Hagley Oval?
Well, we've got the two options of Sorrel Avia. He's been with us for quite a few tours now. I think he's been with us just on maybe just over a year. He's been touring with the Proteas, so I would think he's maybe the favourite. But we also have Zubi Hamza. He's also coming with a lot of SAA runs under his belt. So he's ticked the boxes with regards to asking the questions to try and fulfill that spot that's been left open now with KP not being here. I would say it's those two options for us at the moment. We haven't reached a finalisation yet with regards to who is the guy we're going to go with. But bearing in mind that Sorrel has been with us for the longest period of time, I think he served us brilliantly as a 12th man. He's a great team guy, and he's always carried a lot of energy throughout. And I think just from a respect point of view, and if there's a pecking order, I would maybe say a guy like Sorrel is just ahead of Zubi. That's just my opinion.
Morning, Dean. I hope you're well. Dean, Tim Southey was quoted as saying that the rivalry between New Zealand and South Africa extends far beyond the rugby field. As a Proteas camp, how do you share the sentiment to your rivalry against a team that you don't get to play that often?
Yeah, it's a bit disappointing we don't get to play against New Zealand a lot, because I've loved the series as I've been a part of playing against them. Fierce competitors, just like South Africans. We're there to win, so are they. Of late, their cricket has been brilliant. There's a reason why they won the World Test Championship. And yeah, it's going to be a great test for us to match ourselves and compare ourselves with a team that's playing at their peak at the moment. So yeah, there's always been a fearsome rivalry, Proteas versus the Black Caps, not the All Blacks, but also in a cricketing context. Yeah, there's always been a fearsome rivalry against them, and yeah, I'm sure it's going to continue for many, many years to come still. And yeah, he's not wrong in saying that. The competitiveness and yeah, the matches and series that I've experienced versus New Zealand have been right up there with some of my best.
Up next is Kanye Zahir Fidos, and then we'll give Craig a chance, and then Nathan, we'll close with you.
Okay, Thank you, Spogazi. Good morning, good evening, Dean. I won't call it jumping from the frying pan into the fire, but you move from facing a very good attack against India, moving to another good attack when you face New Zealand. Are you just able to just let us know what the differences are between the two bowling attacks and what you'll expect from them, from New Zealand?
Yeah, you might find, and I say this with a lot of respect, the New Zealand attack maybe are a little bit down on pace compared to the Indian attack. But in saying that, they execute their skill perfectly in their conditions. And being at the venue that we play in, we know it's known for its pace and bounce. It is their quickest wicket in the country. And of late, their record has been brilliant here from a bowling point of view. In saying that, they world-class cricket side, and we know they're going to come out with all guns blazing. So we... the rivalry, as spoken earlier, is pretty deep when we're playing against these guys. They a fearsome nation, and they play cricket very similar to us. Extremely proud, extremely passionate, but their bowlers are quality. They exploit their conditions perfectly, as they would if they were on a tour as well. So they've come a massive way with regards to that, and we as a batting unit or a team are extremely aware of their ability. We respect that first and foremost. And again, we have to go back to the drawing board and focus on us. We need to focus on what we can control. We can't control whether or not they're going to be brilliant with the ball or not. But in saying that, they have been. They've ticked all the boxes with regards to executing their skill and using the conditions in their full capacity.
Hi there, Dean. Although this tour is confined to one city, but in previous tours, Wellington and Dunedin, the wind and the snow, but you are in a town that's renowned for earthquakes. I mean, does it still feel like you come into a different part of the world, that things are just very different down in New Zealand compared to the rest of the world?
It's my first time in Christchurch, and sure, they do. The city is known for their earthquakes and what's happened in the past. But I don't think that phases us too much. I mean, that's nature, isn't it? We can't control nature, I'm afraid. I wish we could sometimes, but we've got absolutely no hand to play when it comes to that. I guess once we leave our MIQ hotel, we'll be able to go and explore a little bit more and kind of feel of their heritage and their history as well, which obviously runs quite deep within the city. I wouldn't say that's going to play a role in us with regards to what's happened in the past because of Mother Nature.
Dean, I don't think we are going to speak to you before the weekend, but the IPL auction is on. I don't know if your name is in there, but you got a lot of players that are in that auction. Will you guys be watching, and how do you think it will affect you later in the summer when obviously you host Bangladesh and the tournament is at the same time?
Again, for those can't control that. We can only control getting the guys in the right mindset to focus on a 2-match series against New Zealand. Sure, some guys might have the life-changing auction go their way, and I'll be the first guy to come up and congratulate them with regards to that, because then I know beers on them. I'm definitely not in that auction because I can't stand another year of disappointment, not getting satisfaction of retiring in 2 years' time because of $1 million contract. I'm a lot more optimistic than that. But no, again, it's an opportunity for someone who have their life changed. And there's a reason why that's going to happen, is because they've done and played extremely good cricket throughout their international career so far. And respectfully so. Again, we just have to focus on us again. We need to make sure guys are aligned, and we have to focus on the bigger picture for us. And the bigger picture for us is firstly following our process that we've been following, and so far so good. Touch wood, it's been working for us, and hopefully it can continue working for us. And if that player is to pick up a big deal, we're going to still pull him into line because he's got to play for us. First and foremost, playing Test cricket for your country is the ultimate. With regards to your second part of the question, my understanding is the players will be available to play those series or that series against Bangladesh. I'm not sure. I speak under correction, so don't quote me, please. But as far as I know, they're available to play the rest of our summer.
Morning.
I hope so. I hope they are.
Hi, Dean.
I love how you say don't quote me in a press conference, but yeah. Craig, you can go ahead.
Hi, Dean. Just a quick thing on Marco Jansen. He told me he wants to develop into a genuine all-rounder. Do you think, having seen him play, we've all seen he can bat a little bit, but we haven't seen a lot of him bat. Do you feel that he could become a genuine all-rounder who would be good enough to be picked as a batter or a bowler?
Sorry, can you repeat that? I didn't hear that.
Sorry, Marco Jansen. He's
he
wants to become a genuine all-rounder, he was saying.
Yes.
Do you feel he has the potential to become someone who could be picked as a batter as much as a bowler in the future?
I think if he's joining the batting pool, the pool is quite decent at the moment. And I think if he's just going to be a batter, he's maybe selling himself a little bit short, because he's got the skill of bowling, and he's got all the attributes that are working in his favour at the moment. He's got pace, he's got bounce, he can swing a ball. He's someone I can go to, can bowl a hostile ball as well. So I would hate for him to lose that ability of being a genuine all-rounder. He definitely has the characteristics of becoming a great all-rounder one day. Bearing in mind he's only 21 and he's actually learning his trade playing international cricket, which is not easy for a young guy. And that's why it's important for guys like myself to keep him in line and make sure he focuses on the right things. And I would hate for him to just solely focus on one discipline. I think he's definitely got the raw talent, he's got the ability, he's got the young skill that he still has to develop into that out and out all-rounder. But no doubt in my mind that he does have that. He does have that characteristic in him to become out and out all-rounder and a great all-rounder as well.
Yeah, sorry, just to be clear, he never said to me that he didn't want to continue his bowling. He just wanted to develop his batting. Okay. Cool.
No, he must definitely develop his batting. He's still got a long way to go with his batting. He's still very young, extremely inexperienced at this level. Also learning his batting traits at the toughest formats that you can play. Failures are going to happen for him, and he has to learn those failures at this level, which is not easy. That's why it's good to have guys around him who've got experience to obviously lead him in the right direction. But his batting there's a lot of work to be done on his batting. I know for a fact he can bat because I've played against him and he scored runs. He scored runs for the A side now against India A, and he definitely has those fundamental basics that he can develop with regards to his batting. The world's his oyster at the moment, and he's got everything at his disposal. It's for him to work hard on it now.
Thanks.
And Nathan.
Thank you again, Spokazi. Dean, you spoke about the COVID regulations, especially how tough New Zealand has been. Do you think touring teams find it difficult to adapt and sometimes struggle with performance? How do you guys cope with this?
I don't think you can prep with this, honestly. I think what you can do prior to coming here, you can obviously chat with the respective people, as I'm sure which was done before us coming here, to make life bearable for us. Otherwise, it's impossible to get guys to come and tour here if you're doing straight 10 days, can't leave your room, basically living in jail for 10 days, and you don't have the opportunity to go outside and get some fresh air or go outside and practice or gym. So I think we've been treated pretty well with regards to what we were asked for, and that's the one thing that I think we can control. If the two cricketing bodies work together with the respective governments, you can definitely make this manageable for players, which I know so far what we've experienced here, they've tried their utmost to make life bearable for us, knowing that doing 10 days straight is that's absolutely not human for guys to be doing when you're a cricketer, let alone a citizen. It's tough. It's not easy. And I would hate to be sitting in this room for 10 days. I'll be climbing the wall or I'm jumping off my balcony. I'm not sure which one, but it's tough. But luckily there are people that are making these calls, and conversations I had to respect the players and respect the team management, just because we do want to be here. and we want to play against New Zealand, no doubt. But also you've got to meet the respective touring team halfway as well.
And on that note, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today. I will make sure that I share this content as quickly as possible. Have a fantastic day in South Africa. And for anyone making any interview requests, please do be aware of the time difference. I have been receiving messages at very odd hours. So please make sure that you are aware of the time difference included and include that in the interview request itself. But besides that, have a great day, guys. We'll chat to you soon.
Thank you, Kazi. Thanks,
Bye.
Dean.